Welcome to AI Bedtime Stories. Today's story is called The Waltz of Shadows. In the ancient town of Grimsdale, shrouded in perpetual mist and whispered legends, the crumbling estate of Ravenwood stood as a silent sentinel. Once a year, on International Dance Day, it awoke from its slumber, the echoes of the past stirring within its walls, ready to host the most enigmatic ball of the year, the Waltz of Shadows. Eleanor, a young and curious librarian from the neighboring village, had always been fascinated by the tales of Ravenwood. The estate was said to be cursed, haunted by the spirits of a tragic lineage, doomed to dance their sorrows away every year on this peculiar night. This year, drawn by tales of mystery and driven by a yearning to experience the legend firsthand, Eleanor accepted an unexpected invitation that appeared at her doorstep, sealed with black wax and marked with the crest of Ravenwood. Clad in a gown of midnight velvet, Eleanor approached the grand doors of the estate. As they creaked open, she was greeted by the haunting melody of a violin, the sound drawing her deeper into the foyer. The hall was adorned with flickering candles, their light casting ghostly shadows that danced along the walls. An air of melancholy wrapped around her, yet it was laced with an enticing allure. As the clock struck midnight, the guests began to gather in the grand ballroom, their faces hidden behind elaborate masks. The atmosphere was charged with a strange energy, as if the very air was alive with both anticipation and dread. Eleanor felt a chill down her spine when she noticed that the other attendees moved with an unnatural grace, their steps too smooth, their movements almost ethereal. The dance began with no announcement, the guests pairing up as if driven by an unseen force. Eleanor found herself drawn to a tall, enigmatic figure clad in a dark, flowing robe. His mask was that of a raven, its eyes glinting with a piercing intensity. He offered his hand, and without a word, they joined the dance. As they waltzed, Eleanor could not shake the feeling that her mysterious partner was not merely performing the steps but weaving a spell. With every turn and spin, the shadows seemed to grow thicker, the candles dimming as if devoured by the darkness. Her heart raced, not just from the dance but from a growing sense of foreboding. Midway through the waltz, her partner leaned in, his voice a mere whisper, "Do you know why you are here, Eleanor?" Before she could answer, the music crescendoed into a haunting climax, and he vanished into thin air, leaving her spinning alone in the center of the ballroom. The other dancers stopped and turned to face her. As the last note of the violin died away, the shadows seemed to pull back, revealing the true forms of the guests. They were not people at all but specters, trapped in an eternal dance, bound to the cursed estate. Eleanor, realizing she was meant to join them, felt a terror unlike any other. But it was then that the raven-masked figure reappeared, his hand extended to her once more. "You can leave, Eleanor," he said, his voice now gentle, a stark contrast to the chilling events. "You have seen the sorrow of Ravenwood, but you do not belong to it." With a mixture of relief and sadness, Eleanor fled from the ballroom, the specter's mournful gazes following her escape. As she exited Ravenwood, the mist enveloped her, and when it cleared, she found herself back at the edge of the estate, the music nothing more than a distant echo. From that night on, Eleanor's fascination with Gothic tales turned from curiosity to a heartfelt understanding of the thin veils between joy, sorrow, and the supernatural. Each year, on International Dance Day, she would remember the Waltz of Shadows, a dance that taught her the depth of history's grip on the living and the haunting beauty of its spectral ballet.